What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is episode 2. In this episode, we go and we beat the Ender Dragon. It's a shame I couldn't get the audio from Discord because it's really funny. But anyways, man, the topic of today's video is whether or not you should start investing, right? Now, right off the bat, the answer is a clear-cut yes. 100,000% you need to start investing, both in yourself and in your finances. And there's basically no distinction there. Investing in yourself leads to investing in your finances, right? I guess this is completely unscripted, so if I go off the rails or something, my bad, you know? But basically, it all starts with your mindset, right? I know a lot of people, they are genuinely wondering, should I even invest? Is it even worth investing in, right? Now, the problem with saving your money, there's a big distinction here between saving your money and investing it. The problem with saving your money in a high yield savings account, that's going to net you like 4% maybe, if you got a really good bank. If you put it in a CD for a few months, you get, the same thing, about 4%, I think, at Chase. Put it in a CD. So you put $100,000 into a CD for a few months, it'll return you 4%. You'll get $4,000. Now, that's good if you want to have cash on hand. Let me tell you why it's not good to save in a high yield savings account, basically at any bank. First of all, it's FDIC insured only up to $250,000 most banks. Unless you're like this really high profile client, then you probably could get more insurance. But that's the first problem. So you have like more than 250K, something happens to that money, you're only getting 250K back. The second problem, more likely the biggest problem, is inflation, right? You're saving your dollars in fiat currency. What is fiat currency? Fiat currency is the paper money, the currency that a country issues for payments, right? So Portugal had theirs, the British pound, the US petrodollar, right? These are the currencies that when they're functional, the world is using that currency. Okay? The problem with fiat currencies is that the governments can print more, and they've always done it. They've always done it. No fiat currency has ever survived the test of time. It's always replaced. So maybe in our lifetime, the US dollar falls and is replaced by Chinese currency. Okay, that doesn't mean our dollars are going to be useless, but they're every single day that your money is sitting in a bank, it's going down in value. Okay? It is burning. The inflation rate is about the same, if not greater, than the interest on your high yield savings account. So what that means is you're losing money. All right? You're losing money if it's sitting in the bank. There's just no other way around it. Back in the day, yeah, sure, leave it in the bank, but we're not back in the day anymore. We got a pretty clear understanding that inflation means the cost of all goods and services are going to rise. You got to pay more for gas. You got to pay more for groceries. You got to pay more for housing. It's gotten to the point where so many people are like working and they're trapped. I call them capitalist slaves, right? They're trapped in this rat race, this little hamster wheel of you only have enough to pay your bills. And that's it. That's it. That's it. You could pay your apartment. You could pay your groceries. And that's it. People aren't even having kids now. They're saying pets are the new kids. Kids are the new exotic animals. Like if you're rich or crazy, you have a kid. Okay? When Americans are financing their groceries on credit cards, there's a problem, all right? There's a serious problem. No, this isn't going to get political and be like, we should be communists. Like, chill out. right? It is what it is. The system is in place. We're not going to reinvent the wheel and overthrow the government overnight and start a whole new thing where we're socialists. Like, it's just not going to happen. So you just got to look down the road. Where's this going to go? Well, it's going to go to a point where in the future, a gallon of milk is going to be some ridiculous number, like $30. But it happens slowly over time, so you don't realize, because it's designed that way by the government, right? Like, they just took over Venezuela. There's so much oil that the gas prices are going down. So to the average American, Trump's doing a great job. Inflation's going down. Look, gas is getting cheaper. But if you aren't holding assets, you're losing. You're going to lose. You're destined to lose. There's no way you can beat assets, okay? So you got to start investing. That means invest in your health, because what good is wealth if you don't have health? You cannot buy health, okay? If you get sick, a lot of doctors, when they get cancer, they don't even go in the hospital to die. They die at home because they know chemo is just going to prolong their suffering. That's all it really does. And basically, if you don't invest in your health, there's no point in investing financially. So your mindset has to start changing, and you got to think of yourself not as just the version of you right now. You have to think of the version you in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, okay? So number one, start investing in yourself. Investing in your health is more important than investing in finances, okay? Because what the hell is $1 million going to do if you have cancer at 40 or 50 because you've been drinking and been smoking your whole life because you're like coping with the financial stresses of the system, right? So start investing in your health, right? This is a year of locking in for a lot of people. I know it's like corny, cliche. We say that every year. But this is the year of the fire horse and financial success. So start investing in your health. Go to the gym, eat cleaner, right? That is one of the things that is always worth the money. Healthy food, right? So go to Sprouts, this is not a paid sponsorship. These are just grocery stores I like. Go to Sprouts, go to Whole Foods, go to wherever you're going to go, but get good, clean food. Invest in your health, invest in yourself, invest in the gym. All that's good. Then, when you're in the mindset of taking care of yourself, then you can start investing. Now, how do you do that? How do you start investing? Well, first of all, you need a job. If you don't have a job, there's no point in investing. What are you gonna? You're gonna need that money really soon. So don't even invest if you don't have a good job, right? Because you don't want to invest any money that you're gonna need in a few months. Okay. So you're gonna increase your income. You have to. If there's no income, there's no investing. So obviously, you're gonna have to increase your income. And then the second thing you can do is reduce your spending, right? So if you're going to Starbucks every day, you're going wherever you're going, you're getting a coffee every other day, or every day. If you spend $5 on a coffee every day, that's more than a couple $1,000s a year. Okay? So cut the BS out, right? Stop going to McDonald's. Stop going to wherever the fuck. Jack in the Box, whatever the fuck, all the time, right? Invest the money you would be spending on dumb shit, right? So stop with the consumerism. Stop buying the designer you can't afford. Stop all the things that you're doing to try and impress people who don't give a fuck or won't remember it in a year. All right? So the first step to really investing is creating a budget, right? You need to know exactly how much money you make every month, every week, every day, right? And subtract all your bills, everything, every subscription, Netflix, your groceries, your gas, everything that you spend, every penny that comes out of your bank account. You need to know exactly what day it comes out of your bank account and what it's going to. And if you can cut out some dumb expenses, go ahead and cut them out. Like for me, I'm paying for Xbox Game Pass. I haven't even played the Xbox in a couple months. So I'm like, I'm going to cancel that, right? $20 a month. What the fuck? I'm going to cancel that for sure. Right? So then you get a number, right? Income minus bills equals the rest of your liquid income, whatever else is remaining. Most people are like, okay, now I can go spend that. I can go out to eat. I can go get Korean barbecue. I can go get sushi. I can get whatever. Don't do that. Again, invest in your health. Start eating at home more. And that money, say let's use a round clean number, right? Say you make $4,000 a month. And your bills are $2,000. Rent. Maybe you have an old car. You don't have to pay a car bill. Maybe you do, right? Let's say just have a clean number. $2,000 is your bills. So you have $2,000 left over. And that number should be completely like, bills should include food, everything that you're going to spend on groceries, so that the final number that you have, that difference, is 100% investable money. You can take that number and be like, okay, if I spend $1,000 a month, it won't hurt me at all. I'll be completely fine and I won't need it, right? Okay, so you take that $2,000 a month and you need to start investing. Big question, what should you invest in, right? How do you start investing? Well, you need a brokerage account, you need a bank account, you need a job, like I said. You need a brokerage account, so Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, Webull, whatever you want to use. Personally, I prefer Fidelity and Robinhood. And it's as easy as connecting your bank account and putting money there. With Fidelity, it's a little bit annoying, at least with my bank. It was kind of annoying to get money there. But apparently I have wires for free, which would normally be like $25 to wire a certain amount, whatever amount. But I guess it's free. I haven't been doing that too much. I don't put... I usually transfer from Robinhood to Fidelity. Because Robinhood, they really got it down and streamlined it to where it's really easy to use. It's like the iPhone of investing in brokerage accounts. And Vlad over, this is not an ad or paid sponsorship at all. Like, this is my second YouTube video. Of course, I don't have a sponsor, But there was a lot of controversy with Robinhood back in 2020 and the whole GameStop thing. You couldn't sell. I get it, I get it. But if you want to start investing, you need to think of it long term, okay? So the GameStop thing was like a trade type of thing, okay? It got shorted, the price went up crazy. I remember buying GameStop. I made a tiny bit of money off of that. I've never really had too many issues, but the issues were certainly real, certainly worth your own research. That's kind of a different conversation, but you definitely need the brokerage account, whatever one you go with, right? You put money in your brokerage account from your bank, and then you can buy assets. What assets should you buy? Well, I'm going to make it really simple. The top 3 assets you should buy, in my personal opinion, and again, I have to preface what I'm about to say with, this is not financial advice, even though clearly, it seems like it. That is something all YouTubers in finance and everyone in finance will have to say, because it's a legality thing, right? If I tell you to go invest in something and you lose money because I told you and I said, hey, this is financial advice, you should listen to me, then you could sue me and be like, hey, this motherfucker said I should invest in this and I lost money. Right? So you always have to preface what you're about to say with, this is not financial advice. Right? But the top 3, in my opinion, things you should be investing are: number 1, Bitcoin; number 2, VOO; number 3, probably gold or other stocks, right? What is VOO? VOO is probably easiest defined as like an index or folder of 500 of the top United States stocks. And your $1 into VOO gets divided into 500 different companies, and the amount depends. So, like, obviously, Let's use $5. $5, that would mean each penny goes to a company? No, not quite. Those pennies get divided depending on the market weight of that stock, the market cap of that stock. So basically that means like Tesla's like, I think 2-3% of the VO. And Nvidia is like 3%. So 3 of your pennies from that $5 are going there. So more money is going to the stocks that are better, basically, right? And when there's a new stock, like when Tesla was new, it gets adjusted, right? And so your money will automatically start going there. And this takes all the pressure off worrying about CEOs, worrying of, like, if you're all invested in Nike, let's use Nike, and then, or like Papa John's, right? And then the CEO starts going crazy, starts saying, like Tesla, right? Tesla starts going crazy. The stock price tanks, and you're like, oh my God, my life savings are in Tesla. Freaking Elon Musk, you, right? It kind of takes all that out of the equation because you're investing into the stock market itself. So that's VO. Generally returns about 7 to 12% per year. 12% is like a really great year. You know, 1 year it might be 30% though, and the next year might be 5%. So it's not clear, 7% guaranteed every single year, year over year. It's not quite it, but you're also pretty much guaranteed to grow that money in VOO because the stock market is designed to go up. Okay, it's not going to fail. Especially now that the US is involved in actually investing into the stock market itself. The US is investing into stocks itself now. Before it wasn't doing that. Now they are. Okay, and Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, but no other cryptocurrencies are Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the son of cryptocurrencies, okay? It's absolutely the GOAT. It's the Michael Jordan, the LeBron James. It's safe, and it's predictably going to go up for a while too, okay? And gold is self-explanatory. I'm going to get into more videos about Bitcoin in the future. I'm going to cut it off right here. But the definitive answer is 100% yes. Invest, 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 invest. If you're not investing, you're losing. You need to start. You should have started yesterday. The best time to invest was in the past. The second best time is right now. Okay, the younger you are, the better runway you have to grow your money and allow compound interest, allow compounding to grow your money. Okay. And I encourage you guys not to just like watch this one video, right? Go and watch a bunch of other financial YouTubers. There's like, I can think of some right now, like JP Finance. I think Jimmy Talks is another one. You know, look up Michael Saylor videos, right? Look into VOO, right? Look into investing, right? If this is the video that you found that's like, okay, I've never thought about investing before, maybe I'm gonna start thinking about it now, you absolutely should, right? And don't just take my word for it. Go do your own due diligence, do your own research every time, right? You will end up coming to your own conclusions about what you'd rather invest in, right? But it's pretty black and white. Investing is hands down the path to wealth, okay? If you create a business, then great, you know. You're going to reinvest in that business. You're going to reinvest into your business or other stocks to grow your money, okay? Because your money is not safe in a bank account, okay? It's losing value. It'll be there. 200. If you put $100,000 in the stock in the bank account today, in 10 years, it'll be a little bit more than 100K, right? Because of the interest. You're getting a little bit of money for holding your money in the bank. However, in the future, everything's going to cost more. So that 100K is like not the same, right? So you want your money somewhere where it's going to grow a lot more, right? The numbers for Bitcoin, they throw it out. They sound ridiculous, but they're pretty fair assessments if you look at the track record. I'm pretty sure it's going to go up, right? Like 99% sure it's going up, right? It's not really a question of if it's going to go up. It's about how fast and how high, okay? Bitcoin right now is at a steal of a price. It doesn't seem like it. I know it's like $100,000 for one coin. You don't need a coin. You don't need a whole Bitcoin. You need to have as many Satoshis. That's what the fractions of Bitcoin are called. One Bitcoin gets split into 100 million Satoshis, right? So if you have a million Satoshis, then you have 0.01% of a Bitcoin. I would say a good goal to get is to 10% of a Bitcoin, right? Even if you don't like Bitcoin, the thing about it is all the banks have adopted it now. The sworn enemy of Bitcoin, the number one voice is out there saying, don't buy Bitcoin. We're saying that because Bitcoin was threatening them, right? Bitcoin was directly threatening the financial institutions themselves, right? So now that they're adopting it, it's showing you like they know they can't beat it, okay? So do your own research. Go get yourself a brokerage account and start investing right away. The easiest way to do it is turn on recurring investments. Buy a few dollars a day. You should try to buy as much as you can. So if you can do $20 a day into VOO or Bitcoin, do it, right? Do it now. Do it today for yourself, for your kids, for financial freedom. So you never have to stress about money ever again. You know, it's cool. It's really cool to wake up and be like, oh my God, there's a lot of money there. It gives you confidence. It takes away all that anxiety, that financial insecurity. It just improves your life, right? But I think one of the biggest things I completely glossed over here, and I'm glad I kept talking, is cybersecurity, right? You don't want your passwords being your name, right? Your name 123, or your name and your birthday. Like if those are your passwords, you need to completely change that to where your password looks like a string of code. As many numbers, uppercase and lowercase letters and symbols as possible, $signs, exclamation points. Because when your password is like that and it's more than 8 characters long, it's extremely hard to crack it. It'll take a lot of computing power to crack it. It's almost impossible. But if your password is Jeff the Shark 10, it's a lot easier to crack that. So cybersecurity is your number one. You want to make all your passwords as complex as possible, 2-factor authentication, all that. And then also, be savvy. Don't give out your password. Don't. It sounds like common sense, but it's not so common, right? You want to make sure that money really is safe, right? And that's how you do it. You have strong passwords. You have 2-factor authentication. Okay? You don't answer spam calls. You don't open phishing text messages. Because now they can send you a text message, and as long as you open it, they can get you. So distrust every text message that you're not 100% sure where it's coming from, right? If a bank calls you, if the brokerage accounts will never call you and be like, hey, we need your they'll never do that. So don't fall for a scam. There's some old ladies out there who've lost their whole retirement accounts because they fell to some scammer. It's really sad. It happens. But you want to protect yourself, protect your money, invest it. Think of yourself down in the future where you're going to be extremely grateful you delayed gratification, right? So it starts with psychology. You need to learn how to delay gratification, okay? Instant gratification is going to McDonald's, smoking a cigarette, right? Going to the strip club, renting out a car, a fancy sports car. I've done that. But also, don't be afraid to live your life, right? Don't invest absolutely everything and deprive yourself of a life worth living, right? There's nothing wrong with going out with the boys to get some sushi, going out with the girls to get some drinks, right? You live your life, especially if you're young. This video is primarily targeting young people because older people tend to be invested, right? And if you have a retirement account with your job, you're already investing. You don't even know it. That's how do you think that money's growing? It's just magic? No, it's invested into the S&P 500, the stock market. VOO, SPY. There's other index funds that do the same thing, like the top 500 US stocks, but VOO specifically is good because it has the best numbers, the lowest fees. So you get the most bang for your buck. Okay, so VOO, Bitcoin, gold, and whatever else you want. Like if you believe in Netflix right now is a good time to buy Netflix stock. If you really believe in Netflix, and they got a good sign, I noticed that when they started doing the fights and live events, I was like, this is really good for a Netflix stock. And I think they're trying to get Warner Brothers now too. So they're just gonna have like this monopoly on the entertainment industry, right? Tesla, if you think Tesla's gonna be absolutely gigantic because of the robots, right? Automation, then invest in Tesla. Whatever you actually feel really confident in, that's called conviction, right? When you truly believe in your bones, you have a thesis, you could write an essay on why you think this stock will go up, buy it. Maybe you see something I don't, right? My portfolio has all three of those, right? I have gold, I have Bitcoin, I have VOO, I have some other stocks. Off the top of my head, I think I have like 200 shares of American Bitcoin. I think I have my portfolio was really diverse, and I'm like simplifying it. So I've been selling stocks and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you need to invest, okay? It's like growing a garden, right? You can grow a garden and have trees that are fruitful and they give you fruit every year, and they end up paying for themselves, right? You buy a fruit tree from Home Depot or something. The amount of groceries you can get from taking care of that tree, right? The amount of oranges or pomegranates, whatever, will save you money, right? So the same thing with stocks. Like you plant those seeds early on, and the more time you have to let them build on themselves, the better off you will be. So VOO, investing into the stock market itself, what that's going to do is they pay dividends, okay? So what that means is you put a certain amount of money in there and it'll generate a yield for you, right? So it gives you a little bit of money back for holding those stocks, right? What you do is you turn on DRIP. It's called Dividend Reinvestment Program, right? So every time you get paid for holding those stocks, you reinvest it into more shares of that. And that's going to snowball, right? That's going to, like you roll a snowball down the hill, that's going to grow, right? Because now you have more shares, they're going to pay you more. Then you're going to buy more shares, they're going to pay you even more. And by the time you retire, you can theoretically just live off of those dividends if you turn off DRIP, right? It'd be more likely, because everything's going to go up in price, that you start to sell shares to pay for your life, and you never have to work again. And if you are into like FIRE, if you know what that is, financial independence, retiring early, then you invest aggressively, right? So you can retire at 30. Right, because it all depends on your own timeline. Do I want to invest for 10 years, 20 years? What is it, So that's it for today, guys. Peace out. Subscribe. Like the video. We'll be back next time. I don't care if this thing has 0 viewers. I'm a YouTuber now. That's what's up. I always wanted to do this. And I hope the quality of this audio is a lot. I know it's a lot better. This mic is $400. It's definitely a lot better than the other one. You're going to get a lot more of those videos that sound like the first one, but, try to provide as much info as I can. Anyways, John signing out, guys. Have a great 2026. We'll see you in the next one.